Hi guys, this is Heather from Storybook Crochet. In today's video we're going to be working on part 3 of the baby elephant. If you have not watched part 1 and 2 already, I will put the links to those down in the description below so you can go make those first and then come back and watch this video. So in this video we are going to be making the arms and the legs. So I've already made one of each. I'll show you once how to make each one. So after we're finished with the first one of each of these, you'll go back and rewatch to make the second one. Okay, so let's grab all our supplies and we will get started. Alright, we are going to start by making the first leg. So to start this off, we're going to make our magic ring. And in our magic ring, we're going to make 6 single crochets. Okay, once you have your 6 made, you're just going to pull on that tail to close that opening. And then for round 2, we're going to increase around. So at this point, you should know how to do all these basic things because we've done them in the first 2 videos. So I'm not going to show everything in slow motion like I did in those videos. So just put 1 increase in each stitch around for round number 2. Alright, after round 2 you should have 12 single crochets made. I'm going to grab my stitch marker. Okay, so moving on to round number 3, we're going to start with 1 single crochet in the first stitch. And then we're going to increase in the second stitch. Okay, and you're just going to repeat that around. So 1 single crochet and then increase. At the end of round 3, you should have a total of 18 single crochets made. So for round 2, we're going to start out by making 2 single crochets. So 1 in the first stitch, 1 in the second stitch, and then increase in that third stitch. And then just repeat that around. So 2 single crochets and then increase. Okay, at this point you should have 24 single crochets made. So our next round, round number 5, will be our last increase round. So we're going to make 3 single crochets and then increase. So 1, 2, and 3, and then increase in that 4th stitch. Alright, so repeat that around for a total of 30 single crochets, and then we will move on to round number 6. Okay, so for round 6, we're just going to single crochet around, but we're going to do that in the back loop only. So instead of going under both loops here, like we normally would, we're going to go in between them so that just that top loop there is on our hook. And you're just going to single crochet like normal all the way around. So 1 in each stitch. So again, this will give you a total of 30 single crochets at the end of round 6, but you're just doing it in the back loop only of each stitch around. Okay, so you can kind of see the edging here from that last round that we made. So for round 7, we're going to single crochet around, but we'll be going under both loops this time. So just single crochet around like normal, 1 in each stitch. So again, you'll have a total of 30 stitches after round number 7. Okay, moving on to round number 8 is going to be a decrease round. So we're going to start off by making 8 single crochets. Alright, once you have your 8 single crochets made, you're going to decrease over the next 2. So again, I just go in that front loop only there, pull your yarn through, go in the next front loop there, pull your yarn through, yarn over and pull through all 3 to make your decrease. So you're going to repeat that 2 more times. So 8 single crochet and then decrease 2 more times. That'll give you a total of 3 decreases for round number 8, and that will give you a total of 27 single crochets made. Okay, so round number 9, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So just go ahead and work your way around for round number 9, and that again will be a total of 27 single crochets. Moving on to round number 10, this will be our last decrease round, but we're going to start with 7 single crochets. Okay, so after you have that 7, we're going to do a series of 4 decreases. So we're going to start out with our first decrease. After you make that, you're going to make 1 single crochet. Then you're going to repeat that pattern 3 more times. So decrease, single crochet. Okay, once you have the second set done, do that 2 more times. So again, decrease, single crochet, decrease, single crochet. Okay, so once you have all 4 decreases made, then you're just going to finish single crocheting 1 in each stitch around, which should be a total of 8 single crochets. Okay, so we did that, those type of decreases in the front of the foot there to kind of give more definition to the foot. Okay, so moving on, rounds 11 through 15, you're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Each of those rounds will be a total of 23 single crochets. So again, that's rounds 11 through 15, and that will finish off our leg. So go ahead and do those rounds, and then you're going to just want to set that leg aside and make the second one. And then when we come back, we're going to start making the arm. Okay, at this point you should have 2 legs made. So go ahead and just set those aside, and we're going to make the arms. We'll do all of our sewing at the end of the video. Okay, to start off our arm, we're going to make our magic ring, and then in that ring we're going to make 6 single crochets. Alright, once you have your 6 made, you're just going to pull that tail. And then for round 2, we're just going to increase the rounds. So 1 or 2 single crochets in each stitch around. Okay, moving on to round number 3, we're going to start out with that single crochet in the first stitch, and then increase in the second stitch. So again, you'll just repeat that around, 1 single crochet, and then increase. And that will give you a total of 18 single crochets. Okay, so round number 4 will be our last increase round. So we're going to start off with 2 single crochets, 1 and 2, and then you'll increase in that third stitch. Okay, and that's the pattern you'll repeat around. So 2 single crochets and then increase. This will give you a total of 24 single crochets at the end of round number 4. Alright, so for round 5, we're going to be working in that back loop only again, and we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Okay, so this will give you a total of 24 stitches again. Just remember to do that back loop only for round number 5. Alright, round number 6, we're just going to single crochet around like normal, so under both loops. So 1 single crochet in each stitch around for a total of 24 single crochets. Okay, so round number 7 will be our first decrease round. So we're going to start off by making 4 single crochets. Okay, after you make the 4, you'll make your decrease. And that's the pattern that you will repeat around. So 4 single crochets and decrease around. This will give you a total of 20 stitches by the end of this round. Alright, moving on to round 8, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So this will again give you a total of 20 stitches by the end of round number 8. Alright, so round number 9, we're going to start off by making 4 single crochets. Okay, after you have those 4 made, we're going to do a series of decreases. So we're going to start with our decrease over the next 2. And then we're going to single crochet in the next stitch. Then we're going to repeat that 2 more times. So decrease, single crochet. Okay, so once you get those done, you should have a total of 3 decrease sections there. So then you'll just continue single crocheting 7 more times to the end of this round, and this will give you a total of 17 single crochets. Okay, so moving on, we're just going to single crochet 1 in each stitch around for the next few rounds. So this will be rounds 10 through 18. So just 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Each of these rounds will give you a total of 17 single crochets. So go ahead and finish off through round number 18, finish off the arm, and then go ahead and make your second one. And then we'll come back and we're going to make the tail next. Alright, so next we're going to make the tail, and this will be the last part that you need your gray yarn for. So all we're going to do with the gray is we're going to chain 7. Alright, once you make your chain 7, we're going to start in that second chain from our hook right here, and we're going to just single crochet across our chain. Okay, so once you have worked your way across that chain, you're just going to go ahead and finish that off with a longer tail. Okay, and we're just going to set that aside. So next you're just going to want to grab the color that you used for your hair here, and we're going to make the little hair for the tail, and then we're going to make the foot pads for the arms and the feet, and then we're going to make some toenails. Okay, so I'm going to use my purple to make the little hair tuft on the tail, and we're going to do that exactly the same way we did for the hair on the top of the head. So go ahead and make your slip knot, and then we're just going to chain 8. Okay, once you have your chain 8 made, we're going to start in that second chain from our hook, and we're going to make 3 single crochets in each chain across. And this will give you that curled up look that we're wanting for the little hair for the tail. So 3 single crochets each stitch across, and this will give you a total of 21 single crochets at the end of this, and then you'll just want to finish that off with a long tail, and we'll sew that on at the end after we finish the foot pads. Okay, so we'll start by making the little pads for the hands first, or the arms. So we're going to start with our magic ring, and for round 1 we're going to put 6 single crochets into this ring. Alright, once you've made your 6, you just pull that tail, close that opening, and for round 2, we're just going to increase around. So 2 single crochets in each stitch around. Okay, so once you get to the end, this is all we're going to do for the hand pads there. So you're just going to slip stitch to that next stitch to finish this off. And then again cut a longer tail so that we can sew that on later. So you're going to make 1 more of those, and then we're going to move on and make the foot pads. Okay, so to make the foot pads, again, you'll want to make 2 of these. It's going to start off the exact same way as the hand pads. So we're going to make our magic ring and make our 6 single crochets in that ring. Okay, once you have your 6, pull your tail closed. For round 2, we're going to increase in each stitch around, so put your 2 single crochets in every stitch around. That'll give you a total of 12 single crochets at the end of round 2. Okay, so for round 3, this will be our last round, we're going to increase around again. So you're going to put 2 single crochets in every stitch around. So this will give you a total of 24 single crochets at the end of round number 3. Okay, so that finishes off the foot pad, so go ahead and slip stitch to that next stitch there and cut a longer tail. So this finishes off all the crocheting we need to do. So next we're going to be assembling, so you want to grab your yarn needle and you're going to want to grab your fiber fill. Alright, for the next step you're going to want to go ahead and stuff your arms and your legs. Okay, so make sure you stuff those firmly, and then I will show you how to sew everything onto the elephant. Okay, so let's start off by sewing on the tail. So you're going to want to grab the little gray part of your tail and then the little curly Q that we made. So what we're going to do is sew that on first. So using your yarn needle, we're just going to sew it on to the very tip of the tail here. So basically sewing the 2 ends together. And I just go through the first couple stitches here, and then we'll just weave that in to the purple part. So just go back and forth a couple times with that yarn needle. Alright, and then we'll cut that off. And then let's go ahead and sew the tail onto the elephant. Okay, so you'll want to grab your elephant here, and then just find kind of the center back here, and it just depends on how far down you want it there, and just grab a couple stitches on the elephant and a couple on the tail and sew that on, and then you'll just want to weave that in as well. Alright, so the next step is to sew on the foot pads here. So I've already done this one for you just to show you what that's going to look like. So go ahead and grab one of your arms or legs. They'll all be done the exact same way. So, and then grab the foot pads. So remember, the larger foot pads go with the feet and the smaller ones go with the arms. Okay, so you kind of want to find where we made that decrease round to make like the top edge of the foot or the hand. They both have that. And then you're just going to want to place the foot pad kind of towards the bottom on the base of the foot or hand. Okay, you're going to want to leave room up here because we're going to be making our toenails next. Okay, so with your yarn needle, all you're going to do is kind of grab one stitch on the foot here and then come up through on the foot pad. And then you're just going to do that with every stitch around until you get back around to the beginning, so that it's completely sewn on. So go ahead and do this with all 4 of them, and then make sure you weave in those ends, and then next we'll make those toenails. Alright, so we're going to move on and we're going to sew on the toenails. So you're going to want to cut a fairly long piece of the same color that you made with your foot pad. So what we're going to do, and it's just going to be the same process for the legs and the arms, so I'll just show you once and then you can make all of the toenails on all of those before we sew them onto the body. So what I do is I start by coming up through the base of the foot pad here, and you want to find the top ridge part that we made, because that's where you're going to want to sew on your toenails here. So you're going to come up and kind of figure out where you want your first toenail to start. So we're going to make 3 of them, so 1, 2, and 3. So I'm going to come up right on top of the front loops that we left visible there, and you're just going to pull that through and pull all that length of yarn through. Okay, and make sure you leave a tail at the end because we'll just weave that in when we're finished to secure it. Okay, so depending on how many rows that you have above your foot pad here will depend on how big your toenails are. So what you're going to want to do is come down through either the next row here or 2 down if you have enough space. And then you're just going to want to come back up through where your yarn is coming out and just pull that through. Okay. And then you're going to want to do that same process there 2 more times. Okay, so once you've done that a total of 3 times, what we're going to do next is start our next toenail. So you're going to want to come back through the base of what you just did, and then you're going to take your needle and come up through the top of where you want your second toenail to be, and just pull that through. Okay, and then you're just going to want to repeat that process. So come up through the base and then make 3 stitches for this toenail. Okay, so to start the next toenail, or the last one, we'll go through the bottom of that and then come up where we want the 3rd toenail to be. Okay, and then you'll just make your 3 stitches for that last toenail there. Alright, once you have those 3 made, come back through the bottom there, and then I just come out through the bottom of the foot pad just to start weaving that in. Okay, and then I just weave that in one more time and kind of come up through the middle of the foot pad there. Alright, and then you can just cut that off. And then you'll just want to weave in that first tail that we left there as well. So go ahead and repeat this on all 4 of the feet, and then I'll show you how to sew these onto the body. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and sew the legs on first. So you want to grab your elephant, and you're going to want to position the legs to where when it sits that the legs are flat on the ground here and kind of sticking out at an angle. Okay, so you're just going to grab your yarn needle when you get your legs into position here, and then you're just going to want to sew them on just like you did with the foot pad. So you're just going to grab your yarn or the yarn on the elephant, and then the next one on the leg, and just pull that through. And you'll just work your way all the way around the leg here until you get those sewn on all the way, and then make sure you weave in those ends at the end of sewing this on. And then we will move on and do the arms, which will be a little bit different than what the legs are. Okay, so moving on to the arms here, we're going to sew these together just a little bit different than we did with the legs. So go ahead and grab your yarn needle and get that threaded. Now what we're going to do is we're going to sew across the top, and we're going to kind of pinch that together, and you just want to go from the back to the front when you're doing this. And then we're just going to go across and sew that opening closed together. Okay, so once you have that closed all the way, you're going to want to grab your doll here, and I went ahead and did the first one so you can kind of see how that's sewn on there. So it's going to kind of go up and down here on the side of the body, like that. Okay, and you're just going to want to sew on, I'll kind of try to position this so you can see it well. Kind of position it and make sure they're even on both sides so you kind of have them sewn onto the same area. Okay, and then you'll just want to grab a stitch on the body and then come up through and just sew that on. And you're going to want to do this on both sides of the arm. So once you get to the end here, just kind of flip that over and go back across the front of it, and then you'll weave the ends in for that. So go ahead and sew those arms on, and then we will be finished with our elephant. Alright guys, our elephant is finished. Let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed this pattern and what colors did you use to make your elephant. Again, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. I've got some St. Patrick's Day videos and some Easter videos coming up, so you don't want to miss those. So thanks for joining me in making our elephant today, and I will see you in the next video.